And so we shall be looking at this through the eyes of the national president of National Association of Edo State Indigenous. Call him Mr. Comrade Imohide Agbi. Very good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
As you have said, I want to seize this opportunity to first and foremost congratulate and felicitate with our Muslim brothers who are celebrating the Eid al-Kabir. I want to wish them well and also say that the prayers will have a positive impact on this nation, Nigeria.
Amen. So quickly, it's about the obstacle elections. Edo, of course, where you lead a fraction in outside the state. Of course, you know that everyone is a stakeholder as far as the project Edo is concerned, which is to see how the state moves forward. The current governor has left a very, or is going to leave a very big shoe. 7,000 naira minimum wage is huge for anyone that will emerge, whether from Labour Party, from the PDP, from the APC, and the rest of the 16 other political parties. You must continue from where you cannot come and say what your predecessor did was humongous, and you have looked through the books. You cannot continue. It's not a thing that the average Edo man will want to hear. And there are many, communities begging, for some touch of, government presence. In all of this, the process has started, which is the electioneering process. How can we have an issue-based campaign?
Yes, as you have rightly put it, if you look at it carefully, in a summary form, we should be talking about what we refer to as political recruitment of the next leader in most of our states that are coming up with this election. Issue-based elections is the key that can assist either the nation, the states, or the local governments to be able to achieve the desired that is required by the electorate. The fact remains that our political debates or our political movements, I'm talking about all the parties involved right now, they are not actually focusing on an issue-based election. Most of the elections are based on sentiments. They are based on tribes, based on religion. But the main point that is supposed to be addressed is the issues on ground. Carefully, you will notice that instead of a political party A talking about the issue, what is on ground, what they are ready to offer the electorate of that state or wherever the election is taking place, they rather be talking about personality and those negative issues concerning the individuals, rather than looking at the issues on ground. Take for example the Edo State election and that of the Ondo you mentioned that is coming up. That is why you will see the National Association of Edo State Indigenous, of which I am the president currently, is trying to make a case for Edo State that our election, this coming up election in September, I think 21 of September, should be issue-based, not talking generally on rhetorics whether somebody is good, that person is bad, this one is doing this, this is not doing this, and so on and so forth. A lot of issues that are supposed to be focused on our political governorship aspirants are not even addressed to them. The culprit of these issues we are talking about is not limited to the electorates. Even the media is involved. The media should assist the electorate to concentrate on issue-based politics, because it is the key to any development.
Yeah, the media has been trying on its part, but you know, when it comes to this issue, the electorate are supposed to, you know, lead in the conversation. You are here now talking about the fact that, forget about the personality. He has been chosen to represent the party. The issues to be looked at, if you are going to prioritize them, how many will they be?
Yes. Before I answer that question, you see, there's what we call leadership recruitment. It is a key and very vital criteria for even the political parties to bring or to allow their candidates to emerge. If you don't follow leadership recruitment criteria, which are very important, then candidates will emerge based on individual choices or whatever. And at the end of the day, those candidates will find it very difficult when it comes to expressing themselves on political issues.
Yeah, but you know, all the parties have already nominated.
Yes, they have done that.
Names have been published. Where we are now,
yes, for example, in Edo State now we are having about 17 candidates that are coming up. 16 male and about 1 female that is coming up. All the political parties are there. The organization I represent, the association I represent, we are very emphatic on Edo State that this politics that is coming up should be issue-based.
So do you want the issues to be on road, on school, on the economy? We have the brain drain. People always move from Edo to other parts of the world. Which area do you think that the electorate should be asking the, you know, candidate question?
Yes. See, we are all yearning for development. And the arrowhead of this development are our political leaders. Whoever emerges as the governor of Edo State, the expectation of Edo State engineering, for example, and that of Ondo State, if you look at it holistically, requires that the challenges presently on ground should be the issues that should be discussed.
What are the present challenges?
The present challenges, if you look at it, in Edo State, which is an extension of the country as a whole, we'll be looking at education. Education is very paramount to development. What are the issues presently in education in Edo State? The the governorship aspirants are supposed to be talking about those issues. If you ask some of them, how many schools do we have in Edo State? They can't tell you. If you ask some of them, some of the candidates, if you ask them what is the number of enrolled students, it's a problem. So when these issues are not brought to the fore, it becomes a challenge when the candidates emerges to be able to address them. There are other issues. For example, Edo State is an agrarian state, whereby we produce a lot of agricultural, we have a lot of agricultural produce. What stops the issue of small-scale or cottage industry being established in Edo State? Are those issues on the front burner right now? The question is no. The answer rather is no. We need to be discussing those issues. That is why we say politics should be issue-based. Issue-based in the sense that when we look at the economy, I'm talking about the agrarian nature of Edo State, why industries, small industry, cottage industry, before we graduate to the bigger industries, should be on the front burner. Because if you do that, from the issue-based discussion, you will be able to realize that when you have these industries, you are already solving the problem of unemployment or underemployment in the state.
Yeah, but some other person will tell you that who are those that will, want to venture into that when everybody wants to go to the city or to some other countries to search for greener pastures?
Because a lot of analysis have not been done in those areas. If those analyses have been done, you would realize that even the migration to the cities and even what they refer to as japa, going outside the country, you will realize that all those areas will have a natural resolution of those problems. What is making people to drift from the rural areas to the city? It's for better life. It's for employment. It's for people to be able to take care of themselves. If you create those opportunities in a vibrant discussion, not just rhetorics where people just speak and they are orators. We are talking about looking at those things critically. You will realize that the drift we are talking about will be resolved. When you now talk about infrastructure, which is another issue that needs to be discussed, how many of Edo indigenes right now are talking about the infrastructure that are required in Edo State? The present governor has done wonderfully well, as far as I'm concerned. That is by my own personal assessment, because there are key issues, there are key projects that has been brought to the fore by the governor, and some of them are PPP, public-private partnership projects. When you look at electricity, the governor has done something in terms of electricity in the state. When you look at petrochemical, the governor has done something there. I'm not here to talk about all what he has done. I'm just giving those as an example.
The ones you know.
The ones I know. He has done a lot of things like that. Even the road network, in terms of providing roads in Edo State, he has also done his bits. No single person can finish the whole process. He has done his bit. So those that are coming in now, what are the depths of outstanding that needs to produce continuity to ensure that the Edo indigenes benefit from that dividend of democracy? We need to discuss those issues. That is why the emphasis on this program is about issue-based campaigns.
Yeah. So, but is it possible for anyone that will emerge to, copy what FCT is doing, the light rail project, copy what Lagos State is doing? Of course, the light rail project, we're yet to have that in Edo State.
Yes. You see, it is not when you have emerged, you start copying and pasting. These states you have mentioned, frankly speaking, they have their own peculiarities. Edo State itself has its own peculiarities. And therefore, if the candidates and the electorates actually face issue-based campaign and discussion, a lot of things will be brought to the fore. And that will give whoever emerges opportunity to even have data or statistics of what is required in Edo State. If we don't talk about these issues, if these issues are not brought to the fore, how do you, when you become the governor of the state, how do you eventually know how to tackle those issues, you will now be reinventing the wheel, which means you are creating what we call motion without movement. And that's what we are discussing today, is a factor that is affecting the whole nation. That is why we have had successful government. What have we been doing? We have been complaining and complaining and complaining. If we ask some people today, when this government was coming, I'm not talking about the national government, I'm talking about all the various government states in Nigeria. When they were coming up, what were the issues?
All right, so let's take a quick break. We'll be back shortly.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Abincin da na fi so, me zan yi faɗa muku akan yankukan mama na mai daɗi. Da kuma ɗan wakensa mai daɗi. Ta ce sirrinta magista, wadda ake yin ta da waken soya. Da wa'yansu sinadaran masu inganci da yake ba da ma'ana a cikin girke-girkensa. Amma ba ni da abincin da na fi so. Don duk girkin mama na da daɗi. Magi, girki mai inganci.
Yeah, you know how it is with payment of bills on a program such as this. Well, before the break, we're looking at issue-based campaign ahead of the governorship election in Edo State and Ondo State. And my guest, the national president of Edo State Indigenes, Dr. Imohide Adin, has been, telling us what we need to do concerning areas to raise, drop them on the table before all the contestants so that they should know what the data are and what they should be thinking about in terms of fixing them. So we're talking about some of the issues, and you raised some, but on the issue of unemployment, on the issue of insecurity, on the issue of expanding what we have currently in terms of electricity, how do we go about it?
Yes, the main reason why the election campaign should be issue-based is for us to be able to address these things you have mentioned, and also to create awareness. Security is a challenge, not only in Edo State, but in Nigeria. The security architecture of Edo State, the present government have made moves in resolving some of those security apparatus to resolve the challenges. Now, his tenure will soon come to an end by September. What are the issues still outstanding in the area of security that we need to address? The ones that are coming up, the governorship candidates, are they telling us what is the present status of the security state in Edo State? Because if you don't know the status right now, it's going to be difficult for you to build on it. You either come in there and start a fresh architecture, which, like I said earlier, motion without movement. You need to know what is on ground, and we need to start using technology in resolving these our insecurity issues in Edo State. Similarly, we talk about roads. Yes, roads are expensive to build, we quite agree, but there are some roads that are so strategic in Edo State where concentration can be on those ones in terms of constructing them to ease.
Like which road now?
Like the major roads in Edo State, you have them in the north, you have them in central, you have them in the south part of Edo State. I don't want to be mentioning them specifically. The place I come from is just, they call it Ago to Utuo. That is my community. The roads before the end of this rainy season will completely become unpassable, even by motorcycles. I'm not even talking about vehicles alone. There are many like that all over the places. These are issues that are need to be discussed. Then, apart from tarred roads, there are other roads that you need to look into. Those are the agricultural routes. If you remember in those days, Professor Jerry Gana, when he was talking about DFRI, rural road development, you may not need to tar those roads, but you can open them, make sure that the drainages, the rains do not come and spoil it. It gives the farmers opportunity to go to their farms, either with their motorcycle or with their pickups, to be able to bring agricultural produce. A lot of agricultural produce are being wasted. I can give you an example. When you get closer to Zeba in Edo State, in Onwa East, there is a community there. They call them the Gbomete people. The day we went there, if you see oranges that had fallen from the tree on the floor in farms, wasting. You know the question I asked? I said, why are you people not carrying this thing to the market to sell? You can make money from this. The answer was very simple. Where are the roads we are going to take it through? For a vehicle to come here, what you will pay for that vehicle, if you load it with the oranges, by the time it gets to the market, you cannot even get the cost of paying for that vehicle. Because the roads are not good. We can have rural roads, we can have towns roads that are tarred. These are infrastructure that we need in Edo State.
Yeah, there are so much to talk about when it comes to issues of this nature. President, time is not our friend here, but I'm sure that quite a lot has been said. You just finished with the road. We talked about education earlier, and of course unemployment. But we talk about insecurity. Unemployment, it's something that we have not touched. Cottage industry. But before we round up, what can we do on the area of unemployment? I'll take it as your last word here.
Yes. The area of unemployment, that is why you can see NICE today is talking about leadership recruitment. If you get your leadership recruitment rightly, and those leaders emerge as candidates, and those candidates are now on issue-based discussions and campaign. When the candidate, the governor eventually emerges, you will discover that when these issues are addressed, unemployment will gradually reduce. No nation in the world that does not have unemployment. In Nigeria or in Edo State, our is a little bit higher. That is why the Association of Edo State Indigenes, which is NICE, is trying as much as possible to be able to bring the candidates together and see how their discussion will be issue-based.
So I must thank you for your time with us on the program this morning.